everyone, and welcome to Celebrity Style Secrets here this week on the 10K in 30 Day live weekly webinar series. My name is Vanessa Simpkins, your host from TakeYourPowerBackNow.com. And today you're in for a treat because I have a fabulous guest, Nicole Longstreet, with me here to share with you really how to rock your brand, create a celebrity status, fame, and attract high-paying clients. So you're in the right place. This is for you if you are an entrepreneur, speaker, author, coach, consultant, want to be entrepreneur, still maybe in a 9-to-5 and want to leave your job and really create a consistent income, not just a hobby business, but a real business that pays your bills. And you can buy homes and cars and do fun stuff with. You're in the right place. We cover money, mindset, marketing, manifesting tips to help you grow your business. We show you what's working today, and you get to poke around and ask us questions. We have a lot of fun. So welcome to the webinar. I'm going to introduce you to Nicole in a moment, but I want to make sure that you guys can all hear us, that this is working, all this amazing technology. So please go ahead and type in your name and where you're from in the chat box. Let us know that you can all hear us. First things first, let's do a quick little tech check. And I want to invite you, like I do every week, to really show up and be here. You know, you could be 10,000 other places. You made it to the webinar. Show up and participate. Ask us your questions. Welcome, Karen from San Diego. Great to have you. You know, at any time during today's webinar, if you have questions, please do go ahead, pop your questions here, and we'll be answering them. Cedra sounds great. Awesome. Welcome, Gillett from Montreal. Great to see you again. All right, guys. So I want to introduce you to the wonderful Catherine from San Francisco. Right on. Any Canadians in the house? Is it just me? Any Canadians in the house? Want to introduce you to the amazing Nicole Longstreet. She is just an awesome woman. I know her personally. She's a friend of mine. And she's going to be sharing with you today celebrity style secrets. But just so you know who she is, she's a coach, she's a wardrobe stylist, and a style mentor to ambitious, highly visible women. Her clients are coaches, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, icons of their industry. And Nicole believes that having an authentically curated wardrobe is a critical component to building a celebrity brand. And I'm so excited that you're here with us today. Welcome, Nicole.
Yay, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just going to let you jump and dive right into it. So take it away. The screen is yours. I can't wait to jump in and just hear more about all these amazing, yummy, juicy secrets.
Yes, well, I'm so glad to present the 3 secrets to celebrity style. So I'm going to switch over to screen share in just a moment. But along with Vanessa, I just want to welcome everyone who's here. I want to say thank you so much for jumping on with us. I have a program that's packed with information. So if you're able, just grab a notepad because I want you to be able to take something away from this. I'm also going to be giving you a couple of different links that you might actually want to write down. So make sure that you have a notepad, a pen, something to write on, like I said, just to take notes and to take down a couple of links that I'm going to share with you. So with that, let's go ahead and start the program. Let's see, we've got screen share. Okay, here we are. Everybody can see my screen, right? Yes. Okay. So this is me, this is Vanessa. Like she said, we've known each other for quite some time, great friends, and this is Celebrity Style Secrets. So like she said, wardrobe stylist, coach, and mentor, that's what I do with my clients. I help ambitious thought leader entrepreneurs, very bright, brilliant women, develop an iconic persona so that they can attract the right clients and close more sales. And in fact, in my Facebook group, which I'm going to invite you to join in just a moment, we were actually just talking about the things that we'd love to wear that make us feel very powerful and very iconic. So this is a 2-component deal here. We're talking about an icon, someone who both has great thoughts, brilliant thoughts, wants to lead with their thoughts, but is also very image conscious. They understand that their image, it communicates something, and they want to control that narrative of what their image communicates. So today, we're going to dive into 3 main things. The first thing that we're going to talk about is how to create truly legendary style that sets you apart from competitors. Now, this is really important because as this space, as this online women in entrepreneurship space gets even more crowded, you are going to want to brand yourself apart from others. You actually don't want to kind of emulate the look that you see. You want to brand yourself apart because you want to attract more fans. You want to make people sit up and pay attention to what you're saying. And that leads to, obviously, closing more sales. I mean, that's why we're here, right? We're here ultimately to make a living. The second thing that we're going to talk about is how you can find the best of what's already in your closet before you ever spend a dime on clothing. And it's using my special technique called reverse editing. Now, don't be scared when I talk to you about editing. It's actually something that's really, really painless. And I'm going to teach you this so that you can start building your celebrity style immediately. You can do this right after the webinar today if you wanted to. The third thing that we're going to dive into is how to shop strategically and effectively. So
is that possible? Is that like really possible? Sometimes I hear that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that, because when I go shopping, it's wild, right?
That's the only way to do it, Vanessa. That's how me and my clients do it all the time, because I don't want you wasting your time and I don't want you wasting your money, right? So I want you to shop strategically and effectively. Stop wasting time and money. And I want you to only wear the exact pieces that fit your celebrity brand. Not just when you go out to network, not just if you're speaking at a conference, every single day, even on the days when you're just working from home. Now, I want you to be comfortable, absolutely, but I want you wearing this iconic celebrity brand, one that's truly authentic to you all the time, even in your pajamas, right? Okay, so before we begin, let's start today's training with an intention, okay? I want us to be really, really intentional about this. I want you to decide to show up authentically and to cultivate an image that helps you do three things: attract ideal clients, make a difference, and make money, a lot of it, as much as you want. So the important thing here, the key thing here, is that you decide to show up authentically. Because if you've ever been highly visible, but you weren't being truly authentic about who you are, maybe think back to perhaps a past job that you have. So if you're like me and maybe in the past you worked in the corporate sector and there was something that it just didn't feel right, that's a cue that's telling you that you're not showing up authentically. When you show up authentically, you're infinitely more powerful. You're able to reach more people. You're able to truly connect with more people because you're showing up as who you truly are. And like I said, when you show up as who you truly are, you're going to attract not just more clients, but actually ideal clients. So for those of you who are already in a space where you are working with clients, I'm sure at some point you have worked with a client that maybe was less than ideal. I'm not necessarily talking about the nightmare clients that we hear about, but I am talking about maybe some clients who, I don't know, didn't do the work, or maybe that you didn't truly connect with. We don't want you to have clients like that at all, because when you do have clients like that, what happens is it makes you, in little ways, start to question your value. And I don't want you ever doing that, because I'm positive that what you're bringing to the world, what you're doing with your clients, actually does make an amazing and significant difference in this world. And I believe, I have a hunch that a lot of you on this webinar are in a space where you do want to make a difference. You have a big vision for the world. You have a mission. You have a message. And I want you to be able to do that and also make a lot of money. That's why we're doing this on our own, right? So that we're unfettered. We're not held down by any other external circumstances. So let's make this intention that after we watch the content in this webinar, that it's our mission to show up authentically and to cultivate an image that helps us do these three things: attract ideal clients, make a difference, and make a lot of money.
Sounds good to me. I like intentions.
Awesome. So creating iconic personas for my clients is my passion. Now, the reason why I'm fired up about this is because I know exactly what it feels like to be destined for greatness. yet feel like you're making zero impact for yourself. It's a horrible space to be in. You just feel like you're being held down, you're being caged. Maybe you feel trapped. I used to have this job where I would come home every day and I would cry and I would beg my husband, please let me quit. And eventually I did get out of it. But I don't want you in that space where you feel like you're making zero impact. And just so you know, I wasn't always someone who was totally comfortable with the personal style that I had. So up until about 2010, that's who I looked like on the right. Now, as you can see, there's nothing wrong with this. I don't look bad. I'm sure, and this is also while I was on vacation. I was up in Colorado, and so I'm just kind of dressing comfortably for this horse riding trip that we're about to go on. But as you can see, I'm not really communicating anything about who I am, you know, what I do, what I envision for the world. I just had this t-shirt thrown on, this jacket that, you know, there's nothing really that interesting about my appearance. Now, fast forward to today, you know, 2016, I have a wardrobe that supports who I am. So it's not just about having the clothes that maybe are in style or that are trendy or that we saw on the runway. This is about you crafting a wardrobe that supports the exact person who you are and your intention for the world. So I haven't always been this way. Back when I was in the corporate space, I was seriously insecure because I did not look the part for my career. And it was a very, very competitive industry, and that was interior design. And just so you know, the problem was that the market was flooded with women who were just like me, who had the same education, the same experience. So it was very, very crowded. I was not getting the projects that I wanted. And the worst part about this is I felt really intimidated by the colleagues who seemed like they fit the part much better than I. I would go to work every day. I would put something on that, you know, maybe kind of like felt right, or maybe I saw it on someone else and they seemed to be doing it right. So I just kind of copied their look. I didn't know where to start, and I was totally stuck. I want to know if anybody else can identify with this. I was totally stuck shopping at the wrong places, buying the wrong things. It was like I was making this perpetual mistake, like over and over and over. So if anybody wants to just say, hey, I feel the same way, I'm doing the same way, if this is something that you are doing in your life now, I definitely want to hear from you. So in the comments, let us know. But just so you know, I was stuck shopping at Target. I was buying a bunch of really boring basics from Target, and I just had this wardrobe full of stuff that just made me feel just blah, just totally uninspired. And like I said, to the outside world, I'm sure that I looked just fine. There's nothing wrong with my appearance.
Jenna says, oh yeah, I've been there. Still, maybe I am.
Yes, 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 girl. I didn't want to look just fine. I wanted to look and feel better than fine. It wasn't just about looking. I wanted to feel a certain way. And I wanted the world to really see who I was. And I was in a situation where I was tired of attracting things that didn't make me feel great. And I knew maybe even subconsciously that my mind, that my intentions were powerful enough to attract exactly what I wanted, but I wasn't being intentional about it. I didn't have a focus. I didn't have a vision. And I knew that if I could transform my image, I could use it like a tool, almost like a magnifying glass to focus the light in on one specific space and move my life to where I wanted it to be. So here's the deal. At the end of 2010, I committed to developing my outward image. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know how much it was going to cost. I just threw myself into it because I decided that I was worthy. I was worthy of having this wardrobe that didn't make me feel like I was boring, this wardrobe that didn't hold me back from doing social things. But I also really dug deep into who I was. I asked myself, you know, for better or for worse, you know, warts and all, who is the person that I am? Who is this woman? And then the thing that was actually really difficult for me was getting honest about my goals, because again, I had these visions of greatness and I was afraid to look at them. Going to my job every day, getting there 15 minutes late every day, taking like an hour and a half for lunch and sneaking back in and just kind of, you know, phoning it in and not being happy in my job. It was difficult for me in that space to look at the things that I really, truly wanted. because the fear was there that I would never achieve that and that I would be forever stuck where I was. But I got past it. I looked at exactly who I wanted to be, which was someone working from home, someone working with women to help them transform their lives. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be yet. But I threw myself into this idea of transforming the person I was using my vision for myself, my authentic idea of who I was, and melding that into an outward wardrobe, into an outward style. And it literally changed my life in a matter of 6 months. I went from not having a wardrobe that I liked to having a wardrobe that excited me and that just lit me up every day. It caused me to act differently at work. And in 6 months, I got laid off from my job. I got a severance. Now, normally, I think getting laid off probably isn't the best course, but in my situation, it was. In my situation, it was the best thing that could happen to me. Like I said, I got a severance. I got a reset. I got to hit the reset button and do exactly what I wanted. And it was all because I committed to developing my outward image. So we're about to get to the 3 celebrity style secrets. These are the exact techniques that I teach my clients. I have a client who's a realtor up in Beverly Hills. She just represented the seller in the Yolanda Foster transaction. If you watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, this client of mine is an iconic realtor on this strip on Wilshire Boulevard and Beverly Hills. So like I said, these are the same exact techniques that I teach my clients. But before we get to that,
hey, Nicole, before you jump into the training, there's a question that I want to ask you. It's in the group, it's on the chat. And the question is about suits. Okay, so the question is, Catherine's saying, I love to wear suits, and a friend of mine told me that nobody wears suits anymore and that people will think that I'm out of date. What do you have to answer about that? Women wearing suits.
Never take fashion advice from your friends. I'm sure they're wonderful people. Maybe take life advice from your friends. Rely on them when you need to. Support them. Do whatever you can to support them and nurture that relationship, especially if they're good friends. But when it comes to style, do not have your friends help you shop. Do not have your friends help you edit your closet. This is something that I'm going to teach you today how to do on your own. So I'm sure that your friend means well, absolutely. But this is about what you want to wear. And if suits make you feel powerful and fierce and fearless and iconic, I mean, hey, if she's saying nobody else wears suits, then frankly, I think that that's something that's going to make you stand apart from others.
Great advice.
Yeah. So I want to tell you about this new community. It's a relatively new community. I just started it, but I have to tell you, I've collected some of the best minds in my circle. These are women who are already thought leaders in their own right. They're already women who are image conscious. We're all developing our images. And the group is called Icon Mastermind. So Icon Mastermind, it's free. It's not a paid mastermind. It's just a free version of what we're doing. But it's a studio for image conscious thought leaders. It's a think tank for the righteous. It's a community to flex your thought leader and tribe attracting skills. So if you envision yourself leading a huge number of people with your thoughts, with your values, with your mission, and with your image, inspiring them with your image, I want you to join our group. Like I said, it's totally free. And you can right now, if you want to, go on over to bit.ly/icon-mastermind, or you can write it down and you can do it later. It's totally up to you. Get signed up, and then we'll send you an invite to join our Facebook group. So it's bit.ly/icon-mastermind. It's Icon Mastermind, my new Facebook community. So let's get to the 3 celebrity style secrets. Now, like Vanessa said earlier, I just want to remind you, you showed up, you're here. Let's go ahead and just make the intention that we're gonna devote this hour to developing your celebrity style. So if you can, close out all of the other browser tabs, turn your phone off or turn the ringer off or put it in another room, do whatever you need to do. And like I said, grab your notebook and a pen because you're definitely going to want to write this stuff down. You ready? Vanessa, you ready?
I am totally ready. I know how you work, so I'm like ready for you here.
Let's do it. Okay, so secret number 1, you must clearly define your iconic celebrity style. So we are going to do something. We're going to do something as a group here. we are going to go through a visualization exercise. Actually, I'm going to flip back to this slide because I think it's more inspiring. But everyone here who is on the call, I'm going to take you through a very quick visualization exercise, okay? So close your eyes if you can. This is going to take just a moment, but I want you to really be with us, okay? So let's just start by just taking 3 deep breaths, all right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Over the next few moments, we're going to walk through your ultimate vision. I want you to first imagine where you dream of living. Now, this is not tied to any sort of obligations of where you must live right now. Okay, this is your dream. Where is it located geographically? Where is it in the world? What type of domicile is it? Is it a high-rise apartment?
Have more than one.
We'll focus on the one that is most appealing to you.
Okay.
So what kind of domicile is it? Is it a high-rise apartment? Is it a brownstone? Maybe it's a sprawling ranch house like we have here in Costa Mesa, or a beach cottage down the street. Maybe it's a really ostentatious Tuscan mansion like we have down in Shady Canyon. Maybe it's not even a house at all. Maybe it's a houseboat. But let's ask ourselves, this is the first question. What does your home look like? Next, I want you to imagine all of the things that you're going to do in this home. Are you going to share it with a partner and family? Are you going to live alone? Can you imagine relaxing in your master suite? Maybe reading a book. Who knows what you're doing? Can you imagine spending a lazy Sunday in this house? Maybe you work from home. Maybe in this vision, you have a studio. Maybe you're making some art. Okay? Imagine briefly all the things that you want to do in this home. Imagine being in this home. Next, I want you to imagine, this is the important part. Now that you have your home settled, you know where you're living, you know what your home is like, you know what you're doing, you know, day to day in this home. I want you to imagine that you're entertaining in this home. I hesitate to call this a party. It might be a party. It might be something else. What type of event are you hosting? Is it a dinner party? Is it Sunday tea? Is it a backyard barbecue? Maybe it's a wild pool party. Okay, think about what kind of event. Now ask yourself, who's there? Who are the people that came to your event? What are you serving your guests? And most importantly, what are you wearing? What are you doing? How are you being in this event that you're hosting in your home? Okay, I want you to visualize this event. Now, I'm having you visualize a party that you host because it most closely mimics how you might interact with clients, subscribers, or any kind of following that you might generate. So now that we have this idea of what kind of party, what kind of event, what kind of gathering we might host, that is actually our first clue into our authentic persona. So this visualization exercise that we just did, if you can, just go ahead and jot down some notes. Remember what it is that you thought of. Vanessa, I want to hear from you. Tell me about the event you're hosting.
Yeah, you know, I thought at first, oh, well, my house is in Hawaii, but really it's not. There's a part of me that wants to live in a big ranch house with horses and have my own huge, you know, Alex has his like a garage with all his cars, and I have, it's like a redone inside of a big space, like almost like a warehouse or like a barn, and the floors click. And I wear heels and I sell art. I sell my family's artwork. So it's like white, kind of white walls. And I'm hosting like a wine and cheese for people to come and buy my family's art prints. It's that
it's like a gallery.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So as ostentatious or as outrageous or as audacious as these visions for yourself might be, I don't want you to get too hung up on the fact if it's really far away from what your existence is now. I don't want you to get hung up on that. I want you to just go with this idea of, I'm creating this amazing feeling, this amazing kind of essence of this idealized vision that I have for myself.
And I'd like you guys to, inviting you all, who are listening here, we have a bunch of people here on the webinar. Go ahead and type in the chat box, what kind of event did you see in your visualization? It was really interesting.
I love it. I can't wait to hear at the end of this module, or this celebrity secret number 1. I definitely want to hear all about what we get from the audience here. So once we've done this visualization exercise, what we want to do is we want to start to collect inspiration. Now, again, this is a free form exercise. There are no rules to this. This is like free association writing, only it's free association pinning. So we're going to go over to Pinterest and we're going to create for ourselves a visualization inspiration muse board. Now, if you want, I don't know if everyone is aware of this, but when you create a Pinterest board, you can keep it secret. So you don't have to share this board with all of your followers. If you find something really wacky that for whatever reason inspires you, I want you to pin and then edit later. So right now, I'm going to show you a couple of client examples. So I'm going to switch over. This might be a little hairy here, but I'm going to switch over from the screen sharing this presentation I have. I'm going to show you some of my clients' things. So let me take you off screen share, see if this works. Okay, we can see my face. Now we're going to redo this screen share.
You're basically opening up a Pinterest board and you're making it private, and then you're searching for clothing, or
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Okay.
I know you're big on Pinterest. Another one of my friends, I went to her house. I was like, oh my God, your house is gorgeous. How do you decorate it so well? She's like, I just go on Pinterest. I type in orange room, yellow room. I was like, I never really use Pinterest too much. So yeah, this is interesting as well.
Yeah, some people have a knack for, designing stuff. Some people need a little bit of skill. And actually, my background, just sidebar, my career background, like I mentioned, is in interior design. I have a bachelor's degree in a bachelor's of science in interior design. And
wow.
I didn't know how to design anything before I started school. But I learned, I was inspired, I was creative, but I didn't have the skills. And I learned them. I mean, it's something you can absolutely learn. So this is an inspiration. Oh, actually, this is my inspiration board. I didn't mean that. I was going to show you a client, but I will in a minute. So this is an inspiration board. Again, it's just kind of trying to capture a feeling. So I've got this old lady. It kind of looks like a mugshot, but she's obviously very rebellious. She doesn't care what you think. Let's see. Oh, whoops. Okay.
So it's not even looking at clothing. It's like capturing a feeling. You want to.
And it can be looking at clothing. I'm going to show you another client's board, which is much more clothing centric in just a second. So I've got this old guy in this crazy outfit. I've got, oh gosh, I can't remember what her name, Keiko Lynn, who I think is really inspiring. She's got this Palm Springs style. Jodie Foster in that movie Inside Man really inspires me for some reason. I grew up in the 80s, so Dirty Dancing is an inspiration to me. Who doesn't love Oprah? And I love this Terry Richardson portrait of Oprah. Of course, I love pretty things. So I've got shoes and rings. I love the sassiness of Anne Bancroft as Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate. I love the punk rock nature of Courtney Love circa late 90s. And of course, this character, Elle Driver from Kill Bill. So you want to collect inspiration from things that movies, places, styles, anything that really, truly inspires you. So this is mine. I'm going to show you a client. So I think I have to take you off screen share once again. So hang on. We'll do this one more time. Da-da-da. Here we go. Okay. So this is a client. Her name is Rosalie. And we put together this board. As you can see, she's got a lot of mid-century modern interiors. She's got a lot of travel photos. She's got a lot of girly kind of stripes. She's got some comfortable looking things, this bed that's completely cable knit, flowers, all these really feminine things. But then she's got this collection of Native American style turquoise jewelry. So what you're doing is, what you want to find is all of the things that really inspire who you are, things that you're interested in. Again, we're trying to capture your authentic self and meld that with your vision. Okay, so let's get back to the presentation. I'll take you off screen share. Okay, we'll try it again. Here we go. Okay, we're back. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say collect inspiration. And yes, you can absolutely collect things that are clothing related. I mean, I want you to do some of that, but I want you to also focus on things that are not clothing related, that make you feel something. You want to feel something.
Almost like creating a vision board for feeling,
exactly.
right?
Yes.
Right.
Exactly what it is. And we use Pinterest because we can easily edit. We don't have to cut up our good magazines. And you have the amazing search capability. So, just plug in some search terms. And what I've found is that what you want to do is you want to plant this question in your mind: what inspires me? And you want to let it marinate, because when I ask you right now, what are the things that inspire you? You might be drawing a little bit of a blank. You might be like, oh, I'm not really sure where to start. So that's why you want to plant the question now and let the inspiration come to you. Also, what I found is one inspiration leads to another. It's like a ladder of inspiration. You're going to find something specific, and that's going to jog another memory, and then that's going to jog another memory. So just keep collecting that inspiration, okay? Now, from that inspiration, from all of these images, this vision board, this digital vision board that you've created, what you want to do is you want to start making a list of, you want to start brainstorming your pieces and your brands, okay? So you want to look at the actual things that you've pinned, and you want to ask yourself, okay, what kind of brand is this? Is it bohemian? Well, if it's bohemian, then it's probably like an anthropology brand. So what we're doing here is looking for cues to find our resources. This is how, we're going to get to this more in step 3, but this is how we shop efficiently and effectively. Because instead of, this is the way that most women shop. Now, I don't mean to, to put this down, because there's no class on building your image. There's no class in high school or college where you learn to really build a wardrobe, right? But this is how most women shop. They wander in, they say, I've got to shop, right? So in the evening or on the weekends, they go over to the mall, they wander into Nordstrom's, and it's like, come at me, bro. Like, what have you got, Nordstrom? What's here that I'm going to buy that's going to work for me? So we kind of wander around. Maybe a salesperson helps us and picks a few things out, but we don't have a vision. We don't treat it like grocery shopping, okay? You need to treat shopping for your wardrobe like grocery shopping. You have to have a list of what you're going to buy. You got to know where you're getting it from. I don't know about you guys, but when I do my grocery shopping, I end up going to like 3 different places. I've got Trader Joe's, I've got Sprouts, and then I got to go to Ralph's because I need something generic, right? So that's the same way with your wardrobe. You want to create a list of your resources. So here's the truth about this. This is going to require a little bit of research on your part. You're going to have to ask yourself which pieces and which brands best represent the style that I have. So it's the end of the first secret. Vanessa, did anybody share their vision for their event?
Yep. So Galit says, I live by the ocean. Hold on, let me go and find. Now, Cedra said, I live by the ocean with huge floor-to-ceiling windows with a view, water. And she says, I'm having a fun barbecue for my favorite people. I'm wearing a flowy dress.
Nice. I love it. Sounds like a hostess.
Yeah, Galit says a big party, a big dinner party.
I love it. That's my vision too. I dream of a dinner party and then showing a slideshow of like vacation photos, like very 60s, like literally getting out like the carousel deck and showing a slideshow.
And Janet says, I was certain I would be on a French Riviera writing my latest novel, yet I found myself hosting a weekend, that sounds good too, a weekend open house for my animal sanctuary camp for troubled kids, parents, and potential investors. Animals mingled while I balanced it all gracefully in a sarong and bikini top. Boom.
I love it.
I know, right?
Liberating. Vanessa, how liberating is this for you to just dream without limits, for you to just visualize what could happen, or not even necessarily what you want to happen, but dreaming up something that then you can model your style and possibly even your business after.
Yeah, I know that, your mind creates in the mind with the pictures. So,
Yes.
taking the time to, to check in and to see what's calling your source, what's calling your spirit is really powerful. Not just woo.
Yeah.
I have a few questions. Cedra says, I need to start to build my wardrobe from scratch. What piece would I start with? And I have another question from Galit that said, I love one-piece dresses, but I don't have the body for it. I need to lose weight. I tried many of these, but they don't fit me very well. So it's kind of like another little question, like, what would you?
Yeah. So for the first one, what piece would you start with? So I would push this back to the viewer who asked this question. And I would say that as a stylist, doing things the way that I do them, it would be impossible for me to tell you what piece to start with. So I want to put this back on you. I want you to create this visualization board. I want you to think about your event that you're hosting, and I want you to model a visualization board after that event. Because remember, I just want to remind everyone, how we show up at this imaginary event is how we cultivate our tribe. This is how we welcome our tribe. This is how we work with our tribe. This is how we inspire our tribe. So go back to your visualization of your party or of your event and start to cultivate visions. Now, in fact, I would recommend don't start with clothing. Start with whatever images inspire you. And then from that, I want you to look at textures. I want you to look at colors. I want you to look at shape and form. And from there, then that's going to allow the pieces to fall into place. Okay, we ready for, this is a trap to avoid. So now that we know how to start crafting our wardrobe, how to start defining our style, what we really want to make sure that we're avoiding is looking like everyone else. So I'm not going to name any names, but within the online woman entrepreneur coach field, there is a certain aesthetic that is emerging. That's very, very common, okay? I don't even think I need to describe it, to be honest. In fact, there's a couple of different aesthetics. These are styles. It's a fancy word for styles. There's a couple of different aesthetics that are emerging. What I want you to make sure of is that you're not copying that you're not using a style that you see to inspire you. I want you to come up with your own thing, because remember, this is a crowded space that we're in. Now, there's enough for everybody, okay? However, I want you to stand apart. I want you to stand above everyone. I want your tribe, your followers to see you, to hear your message, to hear your mission, and say, that woman right there, I want to follow her. I want to be a part of her tribe. I want to listen to everything that she says, and I want to pay her money to help me improve my life or my career. Okay, we are moving on. All right, so secret number 2, you want to edit your closet to align with your vision, okay? So I want to hear from you guys. How many of you have heard the advice? Well, actually, there's a lot of really bad closet editing advice floating around there, but I want to hear if you've heard this advice. Invite your friend over, edit things from your closet that you haven't worn in 6 months, turn hangers around whenever you edit something or whenever you wear something, remove anything from your closet that doesn't bring you joy. So let's think about
my closet. Holy smoke. Sometimes I think about my closet, I go in there, I'm like, I have a hard time, or I'll be honest with you, I have a hard time throwing away something or editing something that I paid a lot of money for, even though I don't wear it anymore. I was looking for some papers in the garage last night. I found some cool pictures of me, on surfboards, but I had a whole thing of tub of clothes that, like, they're not bad, but I don't really wear them, but they're still there. I'm like, you need to go. Like, you made it to the garage, you need to, like, make it out of the house, and then I need to go do another round inside my closet.
Yeah. So I think that we understand, intuitively or subconsciously, that energetically hanging on to stuff that doesn't fit, hanging on to stuff that we know we're not going to wear or that we don't like to wear, even if, we paid a lot of money for it, maybe sometimes we put it on and we just don't get the greatest feelings from it. So those are important cues, but I don't want you editing your closet just yet. So the first thing that, so like I said, anybody, if you've heard that bad advice, I want to hear maybe even some other closet editing advice. If you have questions about closet editing in terms of advice that you've heard, go ahead and pop them into the chat. I'll get back to it in just a sec. Let's start with the first thing that you need to know. let's talk about reverse editing. So we don't want to edit with any of the things that I just mentioned. We don't want to invite a friend over. We don't want to, toss anything out we haven't worn in 6 months, just, across the board. We don't want to toss out anything that doesn't bring us joy. We want to reverse edit. Now, how we reverse edit is we're going to go back to our style concept. We're going to go back to our visualization board on Pinterest. And we're going to ask ourselves, what's the feeling I'm getting from this? What's the major prevailing common denominator aesthetic? Okay, style. Remember that word, aesthetic. What's the common denominator aesthetic on this board? Okay, now we're going to go to our closet. Everything should be in your closet, by the way. You don't want to be storing clothes that are in your wardrobe rotation in drawers. You want to make sure everything is in your closet. So go to your closet, because you need to be able to see everything at a glance. Go to your closet. Now I want you to find 10 garments that most closely align with that aesthetic that's on your Pinterest board. That is how you reverse edit. So you start with 10, you find 10, you stretch a little bit, you say, okay, is this close enough? What about this garment? Does it kind of match? Can I, in my mind, with my imagination, interpret this as something that would belong to that aesthetic? Okay, this is all up to your interpretation. No one's grading you on this. This is something that you are creating, or I'm creating with you if we're working together. This is something that you are creating. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. So that is reverse editing. Now, once you do this, let's say maybe the first week you find 10 garments. You wear all of those garments, and you ask yourself how you feel about that. Maybe you go back the second week and you ask yourself, okay, how many more garments can I add to this? And then after a month, you've got what's called a capsule wardrobe. This is Capsule Wardrobes 101. We're finding that not just the best of what's in our closet, but the best of what most closely aligns with our vision. Okay, once you've identified at least 15 to 20 garments, you're going to want to start making outfits. Now, this is an important part, because all of these pieces that you pick together, hopefully, the idea is that they match the aesthetic and they can all reasonably work together, all of them. Now, you want to try making outfits, and here's how I recommend that you try making outfits. Okay, this is kind of a weird example. It's kind of a weird analogy, but just go with it here. You want to imagine, has anyone ever been to like a little league baseball game? So at the end of the game, regardless of who won, all of the players line up and they all high-five each other. They all walk down the line, they high-five each other. You want to do that with your wardrobe. You want to make all the pieces high-five each other. So you want to try this piece with this piece. Does it high-five? Yes or no? Okay, this piece with this piece. Does it high-five? Yes or no? You want to go down the line with all of those pieces that you got from reverse editing and make as many combinations as you can.
Okay, now, so let me see if I got this here. I just want to recap it because it's good information. So we go, when we make the Pinterest board, this board, we're capturing things that make us feel a certain way, that live into that vision, that align with that original vision of the party that we had in our minds.
Yes.
Where we're living. And then we want to go through our closet, do the reverse editing, which is picking out 10 pieces that really make us feel like, that event. And then as we start wearing those, we'll find a few more of them, and we'll start seeing if they connect and collaborate with each other. Is that right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. And the most important, I can't hammer this home enough. The most important thing here is that it's up to your interpretation, okay? As women. And again, I hate to keep driving home this point. Don't invite your friends over to help you with this, okay? This is like asking someone else who has their own vision of their party to come and make your party. And that's not what we're doing. They can have their vision and their party that's separate from yours. You're your own person. And even if it's your best friend since you were 3 years old, I'm glad you have that relationship. This is something you must do on your own. You must do it from your inspiration.
Hard
yes,
though.
Hard it is.
And I have comfy clothes. They're not necessarily stylish clothes. You know what I mean? Like they're they're kind of somewhat stylish, but I have just some comfy clothes too, Yeah. Then I have some outdoor clothes. I have some like ranch clothes, barn clothes. I have some, how do you, organize Gosh, how often do you go and you trim your closet? I guess that's a good question for me to ask.
I trim my closet at least once a month.
What?
So, yes. So my wardrobe, I think of my wardrobe as being very liquid. Okay. So my example is probably a little bit extreme just because this is what I do day in, day out, all the time for myself, for clients, everybody. So my wardrobe is very liquid. I have a basket of clothes in the bottom of my wardrobe that are either the opposite season. So here in California, we kind of only have 2 seasons, or maybe we have 3 seasons. We've got rainy, which is like for 2 weeks in January. We've got summertime, which is hot. And then we've got quote unquote winter, which is like a low of, maybe 45 degrees. But, we still want to keep with the season. So right now it's springtime. I've got all of my winter clothes in the bottom of my closet in that basket. I just fold them up, I put them in there. But I also have stuff in there that maybe I've worn a little too much, maybe doesn't align with my vision right now. Maybe I'm not interested in wearing it, but I'm not ready to let it go. Oh, also, by the way, I'm going to just admit something right here in that basket, a few things that I've grown out of. So maybe a couple things that don't fit that I'm hoping will fit. I don't want them hanging in your closet, but if you want to hang on to them, that's fine. Just don't hang them in your closet, because if you can't wear them right now, then they're of no use to you. If for some reason you have clothes in your closet that don't fit, that you don't want to let go of, you have to at least get them out of your sight. Because let's say you have a desk. Let's say in your home office, you have a desk, you have a workspace. Would you keep a broken stapler, something you cannot use, on your desk? The answer is no, you'd let that go. You would get it at least out of your sight. So the same is true with your...
I agree with this. I call this closing your energy leaks. Fixing the things, the holes, fixing the car, doing the taxes, getting the eyesores, out of your life, so that you could close the loop, close the energy leak. Then you can amass more of your energy and focus it on, different tasks. So I agree with that.
Yeah. And the same is true, Vanessa, for those things that you have that, maybe you spent a lot of money on, but for whatever reason, you can't let them go. Just get them out of your sight. If you have storage, you can accommodate the storage, that's fine. But I don't want you hanging them in your closet. I work out of a 3-foot closet. I should have taken a picture to show you guys. Literally, my closet's 3 feet wide. So I don't have anything in my closet that I can't wear right now. And my collection is just really, really small. Remember, my wardrobe is liquid. Stuff comes in, it goes out all the time. Now, that might not be something that's totally practical for everybody, but I want you to have this idea that you can bring stuff in without a huge amount of expectation, and you can let stuff go without being totally attached to it, okay? So, I can't remember if that answered your question.
Yeah, I think that's really good too, not being attached to things.
Right.
I still remember when I was living in Hawaii, I was always traveling around and traipsing around. I had like a Hawaii wardrobe, and then I have a California wardrobe, and then a Canada wardrobe. Recently just merged them all into one. Did like
you need a Vanessa wardrobe. That's what you need. You need something, obviously different climates are different, but you need something that whether Vanessa's in Hawaii or she's in Canada, she's still the same person. So, okay. So with outfits, try to make everything high five. Try to make as many combinations as you can. When I work with clients, the prevailing thing that everyone says is, I never would have put that together. So put together combinations that are unexpected. Don't worry about rules. Don't worry about what goes with what. Try mixing patterns. I'm wearing an outfit today that I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, but I put it together anyways. I'm wearing it around just to see if it works. I'm wearing a pair of high-waisted vintage red shorts and this top that you guys saw. I'm not sure if it works. I'm going to wear it around. I'm going to see. Nobody's judging me. Put the outfits together and just try them out. Try to squeeze as much wearability, as many combinations out as you can, okay? Now, the third thing is, once you've made outfits, once you've worn them, once you've tried everything out, you need to ask yourself, what's missing? What have I not purchased? What do I need? For a lot of women, it's jackets. For a lot of women, it's belts. For a lot of women, it's tops. For me, it's tops. I don't know why I never have enough tops. So you want to ask yourself.
Never have enough bottoms. I got plenty of tops.
There you go.
Yeah, I just recently went out and bought like 4 pairs of pants. I ordered them. I have to order my pants, especially because I'm like 6'2". So there's no way I'm ever going to find pants.
Yep. And Vanessa, that brings up another point. I want to acknowledge that Women are so incredibly diverse. Yes, in the media, we get presented with an ideal image, but let's be honest. I mean, just look around. Just look around in your life. You have women in your life of all shapes and sizes, all ethnicities. You have diversity in your life, even in your town. So look around. We're not all that same aesthetic. So don't feel like this is a whole other webinar, but don't feel like you have this pressure. Don't put that pressure on yourself to look like others, to shop where others shop. You find your best resources. So if all of your friends are getting things from one particular retailer, yet you're tall and you need pants that fit your body, you're going to have to find your best resources. The same is true with women who are plus size. The same is true with women like me who are busty, not by choice. This is just what happened. But not all tops work for me. So I have to find the shapes that totally works. So find out what's missing, and we're going to talk about how to get it in just a sec. But I want to talk real quickly about this trap to avoid, and that is scorched earth editing. Now, I've had a couple of clients that sign up with me, and then we come to meet for our first session, and they're like, oh my God, you're going to be so proud of me. I just went through my wardrobe and I threw out like 17 bags of clothes. And I'm like, no, don't do that, because I don't even know what you threw out. There might have been some good stuff in there. We don't want to just scorch earth edit our wardrobe. We want to edit mindfully. That's why we start with reverse editing, and we get very familiar with what we're supposed to be wearing in our own closet. Remember, at this stage, we haven't spent a dime on clothing yet. We're just mining our own wardrobe. So, Vanessa, are there any questions? Is there anything that you wanted me to address before we move on?
Yeah, Karen's like, yes, where do you get good belts? And Tammy's like, that's a great idea, moving out of my closet if they do not fit me right now.
Yes, yes. So it depends on, belts are one of those things that I actually, especially if you don't have any belts right now, those are one of the things that I actually like to buy secondhand, because first of all, you can get much better quality if it's secondhand at a lower price, and you can get a lot of really good diversity in your selection. So the two places that I recommend that you go to look for belts are thredup.com, that's THRED up.com. Secondhand.
Okay.
And then that's usually budget and mid-market brands, ThredUp. A couple of designers here and there. And then the second resource is therealreal.com. So that's and then the word real twice.com. And that is designer consignment. That's, brands like Gucci and Hermes and Chanel.
Hold on a second. I'm typing this in the chat box. Designer consignment, what's it called? www.what?
The second one, the real. So and the word real, REAL, twice, the real.
All right, cool.
Okay. All right. So we're moving on. Okay. So secret number 3 is you want to learn how to shop like a pro. Remember, we want to learn how to be efficient and effective with our shopping. You don't want to be wandering around the mall on a Saturday for 4 hours because you've got better things to do. You don't want to be doing this. So these are my tips. The first thing is you want to do some what I call pre-game shopping, okay? So whenever you buy something, whenever you decide it's time for me to shop, I have this money, I'm going to buy some things, you don't want to shop and then buy on the same day. You want to put some emotional distance between choosing the items and then pulling the trigger, okay? I want to know from the audience, how many of you feel overwhelmed when shopping? Whether it's in person, whether it's online, how many of you have ever felt overwhelmed?
No, all the time. But I did this right now with my patio furniture. I shopped around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I like that one.
Yeah, this is exactly the same thing that we do.
Emotional, distance. Yeah. When I shop for clothes, I do that. I haven't really graduated to the online shopping world yet. I'm still I want to touch it and feel it and see how it looks like on me, except when I have to order from like special places. Yeah. Jen says I would rather eat glass. I know it's hard, eh? And it's an emotional thing.
Yes. Please don't eat glass though. I promise what I'm going to teach you right now is going to help you. You're going to learn how to do this, and it's not going to be, now it takes practice. I will be totally honest. This is something that takes
really
practice.
Good with this though, Nicole. I love how you help people storyboard out and plan. Tammy says pinks, magenta, blues, purples are the colors that make me feel powerful and the colors that I've been branding me with.
Nice.
Do you go more with prints or solid colors is her question. Kala says, I would have lost what, okay, Kala says, I would have lost a lot of great dresses if I waited a day, they would have been snapped up.
You know, again, this goes back to the idea of attachment. How many dresses in the world do you think there are? There's a lot. There are a lot of dresses. Now,
Catherine, I would have really, I have been really into purple lately. I used to wear mostly black. I love purple. Actually,
yeah.
Purple is big for some reason, women's empowerment. I'm big into it. So I'm on you with that one. All right.
And in fact, while we're talking about color, I want you to wear the colors that make you feel great. Now, I want you to put them on and I want you to ask yourself, do I look good in these colors? But I don't want you to worry too much about whether you're a spring or a summer or a winter. That's like 20th century styling. Like, that's not something I think that is that helpful to you. I want you to gravitate towards the colors that you really love, the ones that make you feel powerful, and I want you to wear those. Now, you had mentioned a question from someone whether she should go with solids or prints. And again, this all goes back to your visualization. Ask yourself, which prints, which patterns are going to go best with this visualization that I have? Is there anything else?
Catherine, what's the general opinion on age-appropriate dressing? I be more specific. What exactly do you mean about age-specific dressing, age-appropriate dressing? What's your question on that one?
I'll let her clarify, but you know, I think again, this is similar advice to with the colors. You know, if it's something that makes you feel good, you need to show up authentically, okay? So if you're 75 years old and you genuinely feel like you're 30, I want you to wear what makes you feel good, really.
But don't wear a mini skirt when you're 75 years old. I mean, that's kind of, you know, there's a limit almost. A lot of women in Canada doing that.
Here in Newport, I mean, women have ways of preserving their bodies well into their 60s and 70s. So if you genuinely think that it works, there's a million different possibilities for this. You know, like one woman who's 75 is not another woman who's 75. So maybe that's kind of an extreme example. And, you know, honestly, I don't know a lot of 75-year-old women who would be comfortable wearing a mini skirt, but I want you to do things that make you feel very powerful. But I still want you to go back to that visualization. Is a mini skirt part of the aesthetic that you dreamed up when you made up your...
I really like that way of... So I really like that distinction. It's really nice.
Yeah. So with the shopping, you want to pregame it, okay? You want to pin this stuff to Pinterest. I don't want you to worry about sales. I don't want you to worry about what might be gone next week. I want you to pin enough things to that you're okay. Maybe in 2 weeks, everything on that board is gone. Do not become attached to it, okay? If you understood how much clothing is coming into the United States on these huge freighter ocean liner boats, okay, you would not ever feel, you would never be swayed by a clearance sale again. There is so much clothes in this world, you don't even need to worry about it, okay? And if you miss out on something, maybe it wasn't meant to be, maybe you'll find it again. It's happened to be a million times, all right? So pregame shop, populate your Pinterest shopping board for, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, let it marinate, then put it on your calendar, okay? You want to understand when you're shopping. Make it an appointment, just like you would make a client appointment, just like you would make a dentist appointment. Put it on your calendar. When you know that you're not going to be interrupted, you know that you're not going to be distracted, this is your sacred time for investing in your wardrobe. So put it on your calendar, schedule it. Now, the best practices part of this, Vanessa, you mentioned, you know, you've got to touch it, you got to feel it, you got to make sure that it works for you. I want you to embrace online shopping because it's far more convenient. And here's the big deal. Here's the big thing. You have a far broader selection when you're shopping online. You can find exactly what you want. If you go to Nordstrom, you're limited to what they have that day. So I want you to embrace online shopping. I want you to practice. I want you to start looking. Start pre-gaming right now. Okay. Now, as far as best practices, when you order something, first, you want to understand the return policy. So just read. What's the return policy on this? Sometimes when something is marked way down, it's at a deep discount, you might not actually be able to return it. So just make sure that you understand the return policy. So once you order something, you get it in, You want to try it on immediately, okay? Don't, let the boxes sit in your office. Don't avoid it. Try it on as soon as you can and ask yourself, yes or no, definitively. Make a decision right now. Does this work for me? If it doesn't, return it. It's the easiest thing. They always provide some sort of label, sometimes even the envelope, sometimes even the package. This is still infinitely easier and more convenient than getting in your car and driving down to Nordstrom. Even if you got a girl picking stuff out for you at Nordstrom, this is still entirely more convenient. So best practices, order something, try it on immediately when you get it, and then send it back if it doesn't work, or if it does work, then process it. Either send it to the dry cleaners, launder it, do whatever you need to do. So, trap to avoid is not pulling the trigger. Okay, we've come this far. You've gone through all of this stuff. You've created your aesthetic vision. Okay, you've edited your wardrobe. You've made outfits. You've identified what you need, what you don't have. You have pre-gamed shopped. Okay, you've identified what you need. You've put it on the schedule. Now it's time to pull the trigger. It's time for you to buy these things. All right. So Vanessa, are there any questions about this particular section?
There's all kinds of questions. This is like been one of, I think, the most, one of the webinars that have done with the most interaction, the most questions. It's amazing. Wow. Yeah, seriously. Style is really about, what you wear makes you feel a certain way. How you feel dictates everything in your life.
Well, yes, it absolutely. It's how you show up in the world. And again, as a business person, as a businesswoman, it's how you attract your tribe. So I was thinking, Vanessa, let's do this. I will answer all the questions you have. Let me get through the next part of this, and I'll answer all the questions. Okay. So I want to ask everybody who's here, I want to ask you, let's just, again, this is kind of like that visualization that we did earlier. I want you to sit back in your chair right now, and I want you to just think, how would you feel if you always had the right thing to wear? You go to your closet and you don't feel overwhelmed. You don't feel like you never have anything to wear. You don't look in your closet and feel like you have all these clothes, but you're frustrated because you can't make heads or tails of it. How would you feel if you never felt overwhelmed with shopping? If you knew exactly how to shop, if you knew what pieces to buy, if you knew where to buy it from? And all based on your budget, okay? I have clients that spend $250 a month. I have clients that spend $10,000 in a day. This can be done on almost any budget, right? So just ask yourself, how would it feel if you had a collection hanging in your closet right now that supports what you're doing? It's just like any other support tool. It's like maybe you have a team of people working for you. You've got family that supports you. Your wardrobe is there for you. But I also want you to think about this. You've attracted, as a coach, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, you've attracted exactly the right clients in your business because they know who you are just by looking at you, okay? You've created an aesthetic that communicates to them. Or how about this? People begin to recognize you at networking events, at conferences, at retreats. You show up and they say, oh my God, you're the girl that I saw. I've seen your website. Someone I know tweeted you the other day. Someone I know shared your Facebook post. I saw you speak last year. And they recognize you because you have a clear and consistent style. They don't know this on the surface, but they know what to expect from you. And think about this. Your tribe, the people that hear your message, that believe in you, it's growing daily. And they have a deep admiration for you. They're on your team. They're behind you because you inspire them. You inspire them with your words, with your thoughts, and how you look. So listen, hear me now, believe me later. This world is a visual place. Now, it doesn't mean that we're shallow. It's just the result of evolution. Humans use visual cues to understand. That's how we observe the world, obviously. Your brilliant message and your virtuous mission, it needs support from a strong outward image. It's not enough to have great ideas. It's not enough to be a good speaker. It's not enough to be a talented coach. If you want to create this following, if you want to amass a huge following, just think about the thought leaders that we admire, that we have. We've got Danielle Laporte, We've got Elizabeth Gilbert. We've got, Marie Forleo. Think about these women. These are not women who are hiding out behind their laptops. They're highly visible, okay? They're highly visible. They have a mission, they have a message, and they have an outward image that we've come to expect.
Yeah, it's true.
So, yeah. So women thought leaders, if you're an entrepreneur, a coach, my wish for you is that you can do the thing that you're passionate about. I mean, that's all why we're here, right? I want you to make the living that you want, whether it's extraordinarily grand or it's just comfortable, whatever it is that you want, okay? And I want you to earn acclaim and praise for it. We're not doing any of this for kicks. We're not doing any of this in a vacuum. I want you to earn the praise for it. I want you to get out there and represent women. It's not your responsibility, but I want to see it. I want to see these leaders emerge from our community. Now, I believe the path to having this is having an iconic persona which sets you apart from people in your space. You've got to set yourself apart. An iconic persona is your authentic self plus your vision and goals. You've got to put those two together. So listen, ladies, you've stayed the entire time and you have 3 choices now. Door number 1, you can do nothing, you can stay where you're at. Maybe this information didn't really resonate with you, and that's totally okay. Maybe you're totally fine with where you're at with their style. If so, awesome, kudos to you. So door number 1, do nothing, stay where you're at. Door number 2, you can take this information and you can go at it alone. I've presented a ton of information. I'll be totally transparent. This is the exact process that I use with my clients. You can take it and you can do it on your own. Or door number 3, you can raise your hand and you can say yes. Or you can say, hell yes. Yes, it's time for me to do this for myself. So what I want you to do is, if you've raised your hand, you've said yes, I want you to schedule a celebrity style session with me. Now, it's only this week. It's only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think I have about 7 spots available, so not that many. So if you want to schedule a celebrity style session with me, I want to talk to you. Now, during the session, we're going to discuss your vision, okay? When we talked about that visualization exercise, when we talked about your gathering, when we talked about your higher ideal vision for yourself, I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about where you're at now, okay? What do we need to do? What's missing? What's missing from your look? What's missing from your life? And during this call, we're going to talk next steps. So just FYI, this celebrity style session, it's most helpful for you if you already have a client base. So you already have a proven process here. You have something that people are already paying you to help them with. You just want more. You just want more clients. You've had your business running for at least a year. And this is most important. You consider yourself to be a thought and or tribe leader. You want that big following. You want the crowds cheering for you. You want to stand on a stage. You want to lead people with your thoughts, and you want to inspire them with the way that you look. So this is where you want to get out your pen. You want to write this down. You want to either do this now, because like I said, there's only 7 or 8 spots. So if you want to talk to me, do this right now. It's at bit.ly/celeb-session, okay? That's for you to book your celebrity style session. You're going to have to fill out a brief application, watch a video, and then you can book the spot. So if you really want that, then don't stick around, or just go ahead and do that now. But we're going to go ahead and answer questions. How's that, Vanessa?
Awesome, awesome,
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm going to leave that up just a little bit so that they can see it.
Type it into the chat box for everyone too as well.
Oh, good.
But there was a question that Tammy had about, do you have any websites for like big-breasted women?
I think it's really more about the type of cut and the type of top that you're wearing, or the type of dress. So, like I said earlier, I'm a bit chesty myself. And so the types of clothing that I prefer to wear are V-necks and scoop necks, because they balance out. Even if you have large breasts, you want to show, actually, I'm going to take off screen share so I can demonstrate this. Okay, so actually this top that I'm wearing today is a perfect example. So I am, just as little, maybe this is TMI, but whatever, I'm a 32 triple D. So what you want to do is, with giant boobs like that, you want to create extra space here. You want to balance out what's going on here. You want to balance out what's going on down here with something that's going on up here. So as you can see, I'm wearing this top and it's got these kind of exaggerated shoulders. It's got a pretty deep, I love it too, yeah. Yeah, I love it. It's got a deep V-neck on it. Now, I am not opposed to cleavage, but as you can see, this is a pretty deep top, and I still don't really have any cleavage. So either a V-neck, scoop neck. You also want to research a fabric called Ponte knit. So Ponte knit is the thing that I probably can most associate it with, and don't have like a bad connotation of this, are the double knits from the 70s. However, they're much more refined. They're much better than the old knits from the 70s. So Ponte knit is a knit that is much thicker than like a t-shirt or like a tank top or something. So it's much thicker, but this is Ponte knit here. But as you can see, it creates garments that have structure. So you can, buy a garment that has some structure to it, but yet it's knit and comfortable, but yet it's thick enough to where, if you're wearing it in a dress or a skirt, it's not going to expose all of the lumps or dimples in your, in your ass or your thighs. So that's a great fabric that you want to check out for large-breasted women. Also, wrap tops, literally it wraps up the breasts individually. So that's going to help you. So you want to do anything you can, if you're large-breasted, you want to do anything you can to avoid creating volume and extra visual weight.
Wow. You are a freaking rock star with this, Nicole. Like, this has been so informative.
But I do.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if we answered everyone's questions here, but we had a lot of questions, a lot of comments. I'm gonna let you go back and take a look yourself later on and see and if you want to connect with anybody here. But I want to thank you for really sharing all of your nuggets. I took some great notes about and I'm going to do that. I'm going to go and I'm going to take out 10 pieces of clothing from my closet and see how they align with that art kind of gallery look feel. Yeah. And I recommend everyone here connect with Nicole, take her up on her offer. Janet says, I learned so much. Thank you. Big smiles.
You're welcome.
Tammy says, oh, yes. She loved that too. I think everyone did here, so including myself. And so I highly recommend you reach out to Nicole. Cedra said this was awesome. Thank you. Where can people connect with you? Website and social media sites.
You want to get enrolled in that Facebook group. So here, it's bit.ly dash, let me go back up here.
Yeah, NicoleLongstreet.com is the website, and then bit.ly,
icon-mastermind. So that is absolutely the best way. Go there, sign up, and you will receive an invite to the group. Like I said, we just started out literally last week, but I have collected just some of the most amazing minds in the group. Vanessa's in there. So it's full of women who are exercising their thoughts. They're practicing. What we're doing in that, like I said, it's a studio for the righteous. We're practicing these ideas and how we can lead and bouncing ideas off one another. Before I started this webinar just an hour ago, we were in there talking about pieces that make us feel powerful. I shared a picture of me in the shirt. Someone shared a red cape that they wore to not even anything that was visible or visual last week. She did a radio interview and she wore this red cape just because it made her feel powerful. Another woman shared a huge cocktail ring that she's been wearing. So we're doing all kinds of great things in there.
It sounds like lots of fun. This has been a really fun webinar. Sometimes we can talk about business and it's like very systems and kind of structured, but this has been fun and I have enjoyed this. So thank you. And thank you everyone for tuning in. This has been actually a really well-attended webinar. I think everyone stayed right until the end. So really exciting. And I want to thank all of the viewers too for being here. This is Vanessa Simpkins and Nicole Longstreet. You have been listening to the 10K and 30-day live weekly webinar series. Tune in, stick around, come back next week. We have amazing guests and we talk about money, mindset, manifesting tips, proven systems and ways you can grow your business and create a consistent income. So thank you for joining us and I love you all and I will see you all next week. Bye everyone. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.